Hello, everyone. My name is Eric Peters, and I am the president of the Professional Services Division of BGSF. We are a global workforce solutions firm. And with me today is a friend of mine, Demetrius Short, who's the CEO of Transformation Life Center. Demetrius, thanks for joining us today, man. Good to see you.
Eric, is so and always good to see you and to be able to share some time with you.
Yeah, thanks for joining me today. We're celebrating Juneteenth here at BGSF, and I thought of you when we were doing this and putting some of these conversations together, because the work that we've done with you guys is so special, and I know we'll get to some of that later. But a lot of our audience really wants to hear more about Juneteenth, but more about how it inspires people and what it means to people. And so just in the spirit of what we're doing here for this theme this month, maybe tell our audience, to you and the organization you're in, you personally, what does Juneteenth mean to you, Demetrius? And when you're talking to your family and friends and immediate coworkers and people in the organization, what does it mean to you?
Yes, great question, Eric, and it's always a personal pause for me as we look at celebrating Juneteenth. And many people, as you suggested, may not recognize the impact of what Juneteenth is. We know we celebrate Black History Month in February, and
Mhm.
and then Juneteenth just recently, being declared a national holiday. We want to shed more light on that. And personally, me, as an African American man and learning much about my history and my heritage, when I look at Juneteenth and to really look at the Emancipation Proclamation being declared on January 1st in 1863. And while that is exciting news and rewarding, there were a few 100,000 slaves in Galveston, Texas, who did not get that news. And that pause there is like, why didn't they get the news of the freedom of all slaves, for everyone to be deemed a free woman, a free man, a free child? But for 2 years, this group of slaves in Galveston, Texas, did not get that message. And we know that it was systemically driven, that they did not want where Lincoln, declared the freedom. But this small group in Galveston, Texas, did not get that news, Eric, for 2 long years.
Mm.
So imagine working
Oh,
2 years and you're free, but don't know that you're free. And finally, on June 19th, 1865, again, 2 years after, it just blows my mind sitting there, getting up every day, going to work, praying and singing songs and hymns, Negro spirituals, and you don't even realize you're free
yeah.
for two
Wow.
years. So that's the power of Juneteenth for us, that on June 19th, these uh, small group were liberated. They received their liberation, the proclamation of the news. And while we pause to look at that 2 years, me personally, it's taking that story and ensuring that, our work in the underserved community, our work, as Martin Luther King so beautifully said, that it should not be about color. Freedom should be for all. It's just a pregnant pause for me to just say, hey, wow, I can imagine being in that place, but what am I doing today to ensure that freedom and equality and justice is available for all? And so it's a great day to celebrate June 19th, a day of reflection of the resilience and the hard work that African Americans have overcome over these years, and to use that day, June 19th, as just a day to remember all of those. What could have been?
Hmm.
Wow, what could have been from
Yeah.
for those families that link to so many different families, from generational wealth or whatever. That 2 year uh, may have scarred, hundreds of thousands of people, because they just didn't know that they were free, and they worked 2 extra years for that. But we're here today to celebrate it and to move and make sure that we, as John Lewis said, get in good trouble, to make sure that we don't ever revisit that time, and that anyone who has a hope and a dream to become someone has the opportunity to do that in this great country that we call the United States of America.
Outstanding. Well said. Well said. You know, this effort that we've taken on at BGSF for Juneteenth has been more of one of education and awareness. You know, I
Mhm.
think of the word awareness all the time. A lot of people do not know what you just described and the history
Mhm.
of why this date is acknowledged, why it is celebrated throughout the community. And I'm just curious, Demetrius, if what message you would send out to people, uh, both people of non-color, but also people in the African American community.
Mhm.
Um, how do we go about educating on this message? What message would you send to people like me that are out there trying to be, you know, part of the conduit of connecting people and educating people on this? What message would you send out to others based on, you know, the celebration of this day and the acknowledgement of this day next week?
Yeah, it takes courage, and again, the quote that drives me is John Lewis. It's never be afraid, to make some noise. And he said,
Mm,
and get in good trouble, necessary trouble. So it takes courage for us to have these crucial conversations, because it's not just about us. It's about our whole community. It's about all of us being able to create a pathway to success, not only for our children, but the whole community. And that community is a rainbow of individuals. But we must be honest that the oppression that certain demographics have gone through, while we can't do anything about the past, we can't be afraid to do something about the present and our future. And it starts with me, with everyone really having and taking a personal inventory of themselves. Even me as a Black man, I make sure that I'm not so, and I don't tell my students to be so pro-Black that you don't accept, and you're not able to fit into this beautiful world that we live in. I'm a girl dad. My daughter just turned 20. So fighting
mm,
for
mm,
females and those individuals who should be able to grow and be ball players and be presidents and CEOs. That should not be um, limited because of how you look or what gender you are. So we can't be afraid, Eric. We just have to make some noise, and
yeah.
the noise that you, BGSF, and I have committed to make, and I believe continue to make, is noise that really reflects that we understand the past. We understand that there have been some barriers. But daggone it, Eric, you and I, we've been rocking we've been riding
Yeah.
this horse, and we're making a lot of good noise. And the end result is some thriving and amazing young future leaders in the African American community that we know are going to do some great things.
Well, I think of our friend Daryl Freeman at moments like this, you know, and Daryl would always tell me, you know, it's one thing to talk about it, Eric, but what are you going to do about it? You know, what
Yes.
actions are you taking? And I think this is a great opportunity for us to take advantage of the acknowledgement of Juneteenth and all the comments you've made so far. I really, for our audience, would like to highlight Transformation Life Center, Demetrius, and what you're doing there, because you talk about education, you talk about creating future leaders, you talk about making a difference in the community, particularly in the African American community, where you're empowering these kids.
Yes.
And I just get so emotional and feel so powerful to be a partner with you on this and the stuff that you're doing. Um, I know we're going to, you know, send this out to a lot of the business community, particularly through our friends at the Nashville Chamber and others. Um, can you tell us a little bit about Transformation Life Center and how people can get involved? Back to Daryl's statement, what are you going to do about it?
Yes.
How do folks that are interested, after you tell us about Transformation Life Center, get involved? There's a couple of things that are coming up here in the fall that I know you and I are really passionate about. Let's give our audience a little bit, and we'll have a link in this video down below for people to click on to learn more as well.
Yeah, thank you, Eric. Transformation Life Center was birthed from struggle, from my personal struggle, being the first of my family to matriculate to Nashville, Tennessee, from Cincinnati, Ohio. I thought that sports was going to be the avenue for me to go to college free, and that didn't happen. Again, 3.6 GPA out of high school, quarterback, homecoming king. I was just that guy that that my parents said, we're not worried about Demetrius. He's a smart kid. He's either going to go on his brain, his athleticism, or both. So he won't be the kid that we're going to have to worry about. And I ended up at Fisk University and didn't know about historical Black colleges and university. We hear the term HBCU, so for our listening audience, you may not know about that, but Fisk University is the first accredited historical Black college and university in the world in 1866. And to get to Nashville and walk on this campus and see Black excellence, to hear about John Lewis, W.E.B. Du Bois walked those streets, Nikki D. Giovanni, and I'm going, how do I not know about these individuals? So I had an epiphany in my spirit as an 18-year-old, showing up at Fisk with a briefcase, a blue suit, full of hope and aspirations, but didn't have a college scholarship. And I found out just how costly an education is. So I ended up sleeping on the floor of a dorm director's office for days. I hid all of this because of the shame of being a pride of Cincinnati. And now here I am with no college tuition that can be paid, no transportation. And I would walk just from my internships to and from Fisk University, going up the back roads, just crying tears. Days where tears were in my eyes, like, why am I doing this journey, not knowing that this was cultivating me into the CEO of the organization that we see today called Transformation Life Center. And it's all about, I did not quit. I walked those over 3 miles from Fisk to my internships every day, to my internships in IT. And that's where the message of getting in trouble started before I even had the nonprofit. It was, you had to walk. Took you 6 years to graduate. You got your dream job. And I came back to Fisk and I said, what am I going to do about it to help one student not go through what I went through? I know what it's like to not have food. I had to feel the pain of what a lot of college students go through. And now I can teach from that in the platform that I sit now. So we created this organization, Transformation Life Center. I said, I'm going to walk in a suit and sneakers to commemorate my struggle and just give a scholarship to a student. And it started just with me as a fundraiser doing this race called Steps of Success 5K, where I vowed to run in the suit and gives college scholarships. Well, the students would say, thank you for the scholarship, but your mentoring and your coaching, that far supersedes the $500 or $1,000 scholarship. It's the knowledge. So I said, let me create a nonprofit organization that combines everything I've gone through, the pathway to success. And we call it Transformation Life Center. And our message is cultivating future leaders to positively impact their community and the world. We do that through our Steps of Success 5K, where I run in the suit and give money back to the organization. Our Pathway to Success Leadership Academy, where we take college students and high school students on a journey through workforce development, career aspirations, networking, being Black in corporate America, exposing them to the challenges they may face. You know, everyone's not a BGSF, right? Who's knowledgeable of helping these students matriculate through corporate America. But they need to be prepared to know that there may be some microaggressions they may face as they move up in corporate America. And then our Black Men Run, Brown Boys Read program. So it's igniting purpose, inspiring success, and transforming the lives of collegiate students and underserved youth. I am privileged and humbled to be able to sit in this platform as the CEO and founder to help in the end create a pathway to success for students that need our support the most.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I'll tell you, being in the marketplace with you, watching you interact and discuss what you're doing in the community with various business leaders, super impressive, very inspiring. I know we were at the Nashville Technology Council Awards together, meeting with folks.
Yes.
Again, we'll have a link down here below. BGSF is proud to be a partner with you, and we're asking all of our customers and consultants and people we know in the greater Nashville area to learn more about what you're doing and contact me directly or you if they have questions about joining. Super excited about what goes on there, and you're making a difference. Keep it up. Your enthusiasm and your energy level, man, is always inspiring to me, and we're just proud to be part of it and do whatever we can to help promote what you're doing.
what you've done for us, and to use this platform again. We're humbled and we're excited equally about what we've championed. It started, you mentioned Daryl. It started there, and you challenged me and I challenged you back. Like, hey, what can we do? We talked about it, and then we said, what's the first step? And that was just for you all to jump in and support our Pathway to Success Leadership Academy. These I hold in my hand, man, future leaders. I see that every day. Future leaders. They may not look that today. A lot of them don't have a model, single parent home or the first generational college student as I was. I had no pathway to success.
Yeah.
I was the guinea pig. So a lot of them that we're working on together, and with you, and knowing that we're targeting those individuals that need BGSF dollars and support the most, because we believe in them day one. Those are the ones that we started championing and getting support to. So those leaders are in our hands at the collegiate level. So anyone that may be listening to what we're doing together through our College Leadership Academy, these are individuals who we can create internships. We can help create a diverse talent pipeline. Many people call us, Demetrius, who you got over there in IT? Who do you got over there in social media? Who you have? Because they know that they're fishing from a pond of future leaders who go through a rigorous cultivating process. But ultimately, we're creating them to be the Daryls who we in return turn around and say, hey, we're not going to get a job and go off and live our lives. They're going to reach back and say, what can we do to help the next generation behind us to continue in this flow? So I'm just thankful for the opportunity on the Leadership Academy side. If you're an organization that's just want to make some impact in the community, you can follow BGSF and TLC's partnership. It started at the race. September 14th, if you just want to make an impact, we have close to 1,000 individuals coming out to this race. We did $109,000 last year. BGSF invested over $6,000. They were the medal sponsor. They brought their team out. They made it a team building day. Eric, I thank you for allowing your employees to see what we do and to see all the effort and all the work that's being done. So if you want to get out and have some sponsorship dollars that you want to get out, you can come out September 14th. Reach out to us, as Eric is suggesting. We'll put all our information there, and that can be a day of community for you and your organization. And if you want to start the pipeline a little earlier, we surrendered 6 years ago and started a program called Black Men Run, Brown Boys Read. Many of our male students, and Daryl loved the Brown Boys Read. He was a triathlete, right? Daryl swimming in the ocean, jumping off, riding a bike for 150 miles, and then running a full. I'm like, oh my God. Daryl, you got the bar raised so high for your young protege here. But that's what we're doing with Black Men Run, Brown Boys Read. We're targeting Black and brown boys who are reading below the third grade literacy level. Eric, we know that third grade literacy matters. If you're not reading by third grade, the stats suggest and they back up that most students drop out of high school. That creates a totally different pathway for these amazing students. So education is important. So we read a book, we run with them. They all run a 5K. You'll see them at the Steps of Success 5K. But we are inspiring the love of reading through the love of running to help Black and brown boys improve reading proficiency, outrun childhood obesity, and live fuller and healthier lives, as our role model Daryl did. It's an amazing program if you want to target a younger demographic.
Yeah, if you want to get involved in the youth and tomorrow's leadership, and you really have a vested interest in changing what's happening in the workforce, this is a great way to do it. And I thank you for your time today, Demetrius. And again, it's all about education, acknowledgement. I just wanted to take this opportunity when talking about Juneteenth to really highlight everything that you're doing in the organization and let people know how they can get involved. Because like Daryl said, what are you going to do about it? We got to keep doing more about it. So thank you, my friend. I'll see you soon. And thanks everyone for listening in with us today.
Thank you so very much, Eric.
Thanks.